guys. Welcome back to VIP, and we're very excited today to talk about identity. And I have my wonderful son, Christian Collins, who, I don't even know how to embrace all the accolades and wonderful things that he has stepped in and walked in his life in his young years. He's half my age right now, which is kind of cool. I'm 54 and he's 27, so I was 27 when I had him. But welcome, Christian. And Christian has stepped in as an influencer at a young age, and he has 30 million followers. He has worked with Randy Jackson as a manager for American Idol. He has been featured in many magazines. To start with, Christian, how did you discover your passion for social media, music, and entertainment? And what were the steps that you took to pursue this? Where did this begin?
First of all, thank you for the intro. It's amazing. So what started my passion for social media? I was actually at first, to be honest, resistant to starting anything to do with social media or entertainment. I think prior I had some experience because you and Dad put us in a lot of different classes and like acting classes and music classes, and so I had a lot of experience with entertainment prior as a kid. But I had some perception on the entertainment industry, so I was a little bit resistant in terms of being part of it, and I was very shy as a kid. So was kind of resistant to being in the spotlight, but I had a feeling that I was supposed to do entertainment.
Well, that's awesome. As your mom, I watched you saved up money, get a little store in your room, to pay for, and you saved up your allowance, and you bought a laptop at 9, incredible. And you were, fascinated by gaming and coding and things like that. So you had these abilities that were starting to show themselves, even though you were shy as a child, quiet and reserved. What advice, Christian, would you give to the moms for their children who are struggling to find their own identity or how to apply their talents and gifts? What advice would you give to the mom to look for?
I think something that was very powerful for me, that I'm very thankful for that you guys did, was you enhanced and expanded our belief systems with ourselves and what we could do. There wasn't, I found with some people, there's a extreme heavy weight of limitation, mental limitation that comes from, maybe out of the element of wanting to protect the kid and be this is realistic, or this is like this, or, sometimes it's automated and you don't even mean to say it, but you're oh, you can't do that, or this isn't possible, or that isn't possible. I think that belief system is a powerful driver, but also just removes a heavy weight of limitation that I think a lot of people have through their mental blocks. What can happen a lot of times where a parent can be hey, I want to protect you, and so I want it to be realistic, and I'm going to kind of push you down this direction that I want you to go, which can create a lot of contrast later on in the future. Or a lot of conflict later on in the future, and can maybe be a barrier to the kid finding what's truly aligned with them. So the ability to allow them to try everything, or allow them to try at least things and find what naturally gravitates to them, and then supporting that and letting that flourish. And it might switch or move, but every human being is growing and constantly expanding and changing, and their identity is constantly changing and growing, and being the support system to support that in the direction that gravitates to them versus trying to control and force it to happen, I think goes a lot smoother.
Wow. So much good there, Christian. Seriously, from the heart of a mother hearing you, and I'm sure other moms hearing you, what an inspiration. Just pushing through your struggles, choosing to be authentic, hearing from God, taking time for healing, building relationship with Daytree, seriously, finding your place, coming back to what God created you for, identity, and also still being blessed in this journey, in a new and different way. And that's one of the reasons, this is one of the reasons you are, and your siblings, and our journey, why I want to do this Moms of Rising Stars. Because I watched you wrestle through, and I watched how hard and the choices that we could have done differently. And I want to help other moms know how to walk through what we've learned together. You know, our relationship as well was challenged because I was pushing you in schedule and not understanding that you needed rest, you know, not seeing, not hearing as a mom. And so it's beautiful to see you come through this a stronger man and impacting still. But thank you for sharing your heart. I really appreciate that. Thank you all. Have a good day.
Love you, Mom. Love you guys. Good day.
Hey guys. So happy to hear that again. And yesterday when I got off of my interview with my son, I was so moved to remember who I am. And that's what I was talking about yesterday, just being reminded of your identity and who you are and what you bring to this world. So welcome today. Does anybody want to introduce themselves and share their name and what brought them to the challenge? No, we're all good. I wanted to start with something. I want to encourage you guys. You know, when I stepped out to do this, because this is all about you and pulling out the mom, the woman, you know, the things that God has put inside you. And I'm building as I go along too, guys. So you're helping support and encourage me. Thanks for showing up. I actually was blown away this morning because I'm realizing yesterday I pulled pieces from a few years back that I prepared ahead of time. And today, God brought me to something that was from before to apply to today as well. And I know for tomorrow as well. So here I am. I was prepared, and not that I have it all together, like I said, but I'm preparing and growing and journeying just like you. And isn't that amazing that everything we're doing, you know, moving forward and building is for today, So don't, you know, despise the small beginnings, because those things are really leading to your destiny, bringing you where you need to be. Let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Stacey Collins. I am here. I am 54 years old, a loved wife to John for 30 years, a proud mama of 4 adults and 1 toddler, and now my sons in love. I have 2 sons in love. I love God. I love my family. I love being a mama. I enjoy hanging out with friends, online or offline, creating music, dreaming new ideas, playing the piano, writing songs, sipping hot tea, and I have to reheat, eating chocolate, writing my thoughts, learning and training, and so much more. I woke up this morning hearing courage to my purpose. I asked myself, what is courage? I'm sure you've asked yourself this many times over the years. What type of feeling does it evoke when you hear this word, courage? I looked it up. One of the Hebrew words translated courage means to show oneself strong. It's the ability to do something that frightens one. It's strength in the face of pain or grief, bravery, valor. Courage is mental or moral strength to venture, persevere, and withstand danger, fear, or difficulty. The courage of one's convictions. The confidence to act in accordance with one's beliefs. The state or condition of being a hero. Spirit, heart, spunk. Courage is stepping into a yes and not really knowing what may be on the other side. How many have done that? But you do it anyway, because you know something has to change for you to move forward. Have you found as a woman, you may have laid your sword down, have forgotten to be that warrior, that hero of courage? Your sword may even be dusty, your heart hurting, your spirit discouraged, and you've no spunk. Times you've forgotten how brave you really are, what you are capable of. You may have stopped fighting for you, for those you love, for your dreams. I know that's me. Things can happen in our life that change everything, and we are faced with the choice to have courage or stay stuck in fear, stay stuck in pain, stay stuck in grief, stay stuck in unforgiveness, stay stuck in offense. What will you choose? What will I choose? Have you experienced a time when you knew that it was courage and courage alone that pushed you through to be able to persevere? You don't even know how you did it? How you found yourself here today? I have prayed and thought about what I would share when it comes to moments of courage in my life, when I've been faced with hard choices. Fear, the unknown, feeling paralyzed, unsure, grief. This is a season where I, Stacey Collins, am present and becoming more aware of who is Stacey Collins. Asking myself, what am I here to make an impact in? What do I want my legacy to be? How do you see your legacy? Where are you today with courage? What are the most important imprints you want to leave in another person's heart and life? What do you want to create for the world that you touch? 2.5 years ago, I guess it's 3.5 now, I was dealing with the loss of 8 family members. 2 of them being my siblings, my brother, my sister. Hard to even comprehend. This was even before COVID. There are no words to describe. Grief is a sacred place. There were many times I felt I couldn't get back up. It was in these lowest of times and reeling from shock, I was faced with hopelessness. One day, a year after my sister, Storella, passed away, 3 of my sisters and I were hanging out together with my daughter and my nephew, and we wanted to paint spontaneously. I didn't want to. They're all artistic, me, not so much. I sat on the couch working on my laptop, watching them. It was in that moment I heard God say to me, "Get down on the floor, Stacey, and paint with them." So I slowly lowered to the floor and grabbed a canvas and picked up whatever color paint was in front of me. It was a color orange, which is not my favorite color. And so I painted the whole background orange. This is a color that agitates me, but was my sister's favorite. Poignant. Then I drew the word hope. It was awkward and even crooked, not straight, not even close to straight, like my life felt. Strangely, I painted the letters of hope in black. I didn't even know why. As I was painting, I suddenly stopped, looked up, put my hands out, tears pooling in my eyes, and cried out, "This is hopeless." I hated what I created. I wanted to throw it right away in the garbage. My sister is gone. She's not coming back. The reality hitting me. I then heard Holy Spirit prompt me. He says, "Pick up the yellow paint. So I did. I said yes. I opened it up, poured some out on a pad, and dipped the brush in. I, for some reason, felt to drop dots of yellow onto the orange canvas. I kept doing this all across. Then God spoke to me. Drop a yellow dot on the black letters of hope. As each yellow drop fell, a teardrop would come. I could barely see. A shift was taking place in my heart. I could feel it. The hopelessness was turning to hope. It felt amazing. You know what? I took the brush, and why not? I painted all the letters a full bright yellow. It was like sunshine, orange background, the yellow word hope. It's not a beautiful painting, but it's my story. A reminder for me, a reminder of hope. Hope against hope. I took that picture home and hung it on my wall for another year. Each time I would look at it, more healing would come, more courage would come, and I would remember. This painting of hope would be just what I needed to help me get out of bed, get back up, and integrate slowly into my everyday life. To get a cup of tea, to encourage me to get out of bed one day at a time. Another place of courage and story is we lived the majority of the time in Hollywood from 2014 to 2019, but we'd been back and forth since 2008. Our 4 kids were in the entertainment industry. My husband and I, their managers. Life was very busy and full of events, schedules, socials, and brand deals. You can imagine. God brought my husband and I back to Canada early 2019. There was a letting go with all of my kids for me as a mama. They were all adults, a new place of courage, empty nesting. And then in the fall of 2019, everything changed. My sister passed away. She didn't just leave me, my parents, and sibs. She left 5 children, 3 adults, 1 teenager, and a precious 3.5-month-old baby boy, Zachary, our nephew. We brought him home with us. Now he's our son. You can just picture that this was a whole different world. I went from Hollywood to motherhood. It was like I was redefining my life. I honestly never could have imagined what life had in store for me. But as I look back, I see how it all fits into a beautiful mosaic of turning ashes into beautiful gemstones. Our little guy has brought healing to me. He has filled spaces in my heart that had been emptied. He is such a blessing. I wrote a poem to him. I waited for you my whole life, but I didn't know I was waiting for you. Today, I call this my emerging season. I'm embracing me, learning what I love and what I don't, learning to say no or to say yes to what I need to be doing to step forward into my influence, adjusting to transition, asking myself, will I fight it or will I learn to flow in this new direction? How will I pivot well? I was reminded of Queen Esther, how she was faced with hard decisions of courage. I was thinking how she was prepared in different ways. There are areas of strength that God had built within her over the years before she was faced with the choice of courage. Her beauty, grace, strategy, creativity, honor, wisdom. When faced with courage, Esther turned to God in fasting and prayer, placing her life in God's hands. She let him decide the outcome for her and her people. God used her in her courage to say yes, not just one time, but multiple times. In each step, I am in awe of the woman she was. A few verses that speak deeply to me are, for I am the Lord your God, who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, do not fear. I will help you. Isaiah 41:13. Be strong and let your heart take courage, all who hope in the Lord. Psalm 31:24. Arise, for this matter is your responsibility, but we will be with you. Be courageous and act. Ezra 10:4. This is the first time in my life that my heart and mind are believing that I really can do whatever I put my mind and heart to. I am now learning how to implement and follow through with a vision. I'm not only getting off the bench, I'm in the game. I'm ready to see results and successes. I think I can. I think I can. Have you been in this place in your own life? What are you facing right now in your own circumstances and situations? What have you walked through? Are the memories holding you back? The pain, the offenses? Where do you feel stuck? What do you need courage to help move you forward? Do you have a message of impact you want to share with your world? What have you stopped yourself from dreaming? What do you want to dream again? Imagine how courage could inspire you. Courage has helped me face things within me that were blocking me, brought out creativity and dormant gifts in me, helped me build an amazing community, brought incredible people and resources into my life. Courage has helped me to step out of I can't to I can. Courage has changed my life. Courage can change your life. Courage helps you believe I can invest in me and things will follow through. I had someone alongside me who would say, you can do this, Stacey. You can. I invested in me. Now I'm saying to you, invest in you. Believe that you can do this. I think you can. What does courage mean to you? When did you fight through when it was hard? Transitioning from grief, unforgiveness, bitterness, rejection, devastation, betrayal? Do you really feel that you are someone who is courageous? Celebrate every moment you have been a courageous woman, a courageous mom. Courage has helped me write a children's book ready to be published. With courage, I've started writing my second book. With courage, I recorded my first professional song in 21 years, Let Me Love You. With courage, I became a certified coach. With courage, I launched my own business and now have 2 partners. With courage, I built a Facebook community of 1,400. With courage, I made 5 figures. With courage, I've launched a mastermind. With courage, I led online groups. With courage, I hosted over 400 live interviews. With courage, I adopted my precious son. I'm learning to parent a baby and toddler again after raising 4 adult children. With courage, I released my adult children all to leave home. With courage, I watched 2 daughters marry the loves of their lives and let them go to their new family. With courage, I faced my husband almost dying of COVID and viral pneumonia. With courage, I've traveled around on God adventures since October 21 and been in 15 homes. With courage, I moved out of our 7-year lease 2 months ago. With courage, I'm trusting God for next steps. With courage, I've faced strained relationships and experienced reconciliation. With courage, I face slander and misunderstandings. With courage, I'm facing the unknown. With courage, I've got up and out of bed on days where I thought I just can't do this anymore. With courage, I've faced things in my life that I never thought I could. With courage, I've launched Moms of Rising Stars. Courage has me sharing with you today. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Through courage, I found my voice. I found my influence. I've got off the bench. Through courage, I'm taking my message of pain and overcoming and using it to help bring hope and healing to others. If you are struggling and waiting on someone else to make this decision for you to do what's inside of you, what's been compelling you, stop and think again. What can you do right now? Are you ready to stand up for you? Have you been secretly telling yourself, I want to write this book. I want to lead this movement. I want to get fit. I want to start a business. I want to record a song. I want to work with children. I want to teach. I want to release my artwork and my Jesus pillows. Whatever it may be. That's from my friend Lalani. whatever it may be. Let's do this. Courage is an open door to I can. Think of where you're at. What will it take for you to rise up in courage? What is your story? What are your life experiences? What is your message? What do you have to offer to others through your expertise and knowledge and journey? What can you do with what is in your hands? Think about this. Start to get inspired, get excited. What could this look like for you to rise up in courage? I know and believe that just one small drop of courage will bring you one more step closer to getting you into your influence. I pray you are encouraged today to get up, show up, and don't ever give up. Remember, the past is not today. Today is a new day. It's the beginning of the rest of your life. Today is your time to choose to do something you haven't tried before, to be unique, to raise your voice, to share your message of hope, to say, I think I can, I think I can. May you be blessed into stepping into your dreams, facing courage for what you've wanted to step out of and into. Repeat after me. I think I can. I think I can. Wow. Courage, confidence, mindset, faith, facing our fears, discernment, trust. These are things that God highlighted for me to share with you today. Topics that are so overwhelming and so huge. And God brought me back to something he'd shown me and released through me about courage this morning. And I wanted to share that with you because confidence in courage, man, you are empowering. You are touching the world. So I highlighted some of the things about confidence because the topic today is confidence. And I didn't realize when God downloaded these 5 days keys to me for the challenge, how huge these topics are. And what did he want me to bring about those topics that could be for you, a mom of talented children who are looking for next steps, talented grandchildren, looking for ways to speak in, to pray in, to know how to be a support to your children or grandchildren or nieces and, nephews, whatever that looks like. You are a mama and you see the talent and you want to support it. You want to touch the world and impact it through the talents and creativity of children. You have a heart for children. That's a mama. So I was writing some things down to talk about, to highlight on this. And I'm not going to answer all the questions today for myself too, because that was a little fast and too much, but I'm going to put them out there for you. And then I will put it in a PDF in the files in the Facebook group so you can go through them more intensely. But I wanted to highlight on the things that God showed me about confidence. And one of the first things is courage. And 3 things that I have under there is speaking up for oneself, asserting your boundaries, communicating needs and desires, standing up for oneself in a respectful way. Taking action despite fear is number 2. Stepping out of one's comfort zone, taking risks and facing challenges with determination and perseverance. And number 3, advocating for others, being an ally, standing up for marginalized individuals and fighting for what is right. And I know there's some of you who have had to stand up for what is right. And it has not been an easy journey, but you did it for the rights of someone else to be protected. When we take courage in the entertainment industry, as I had to walk through with my children, it means taking bold risks and standing up for what you believe in, even when it's unpopular. We were known as the family who said no. It's terrible, But my daughter, Kirsten, who's coming on Friday, she had a songwriting producer say to her, I am so thankful. This is a few months ago. I am so thankful your parents said no to so many things for you to be here today. Now she's a 2-time multi-platinum songwriter. Isn't that incredible? But she could have been other things, but I could have sold my daughter's soul, literally. This is why I'm doing this movement, is to share the stories of what I had to walk in and step in with our children as a mom, first and foremost, and then as a manager, a momager. So courage first. Second, faith. Faith is strengthening, being strengthened by, praying, connecting together with others, and reading your Bible, learning, hearing from God, worship, just really increasing your faith to believe. Faith is a substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, and substance, it already exists. It's tangible substance. Think about that. I can't believe when someone shared that years ago, I was like, whoa, like process, substance, look it up in the dictionary. It's pretty incredible, that verse. So number one, it's about, our engaging in prayer and community, and getting around others who believe, the same, to encourage us and to lift us up, and, for the edifying and bringing us into worship. Then number two, trusting in God, that's a huge one. Letting go of our worries and fears, and trusting that God has a plan for our life, for our children's life. Number three, believing in oneself, recognizing our own worth and abilities, and having faith that we have the ability to overcome challenges. And for us as Christian moms, we know that comes with God. In the entertainment industry, faith often means believing in God and yourself and the strength in who you are and your abilities, even in the face of uncertainty and doubt. It's important to stay focused on your goals and to trust that you are on the right path, and to maintain a sense of purpose and meaning, even when there's superficial and shallow and darkness. There's so much darkness that you have to say no to, and you miss out on so many things. And I was just thinking how Kirsten, the song that created her to be a multi-platinum songwriter, the night before, she called me to pray for her. She was feeling the Spirit on the land. And I sent her, like, Mama's like sending verses and prayer, like, all these things. I'm like, do this, do that. And she walked through all of this. She got up in the morning, and guys, that song was downloaded. I don't take credit for it. I feel God did this. It's just a beautiful picture of faith. She trusted. She had faith that God could change things and change what was happening and the attacks that were coming at her. And she got up, and that song was downloaded, and it's the title of the album. It's been over 1 billion views. I mean, this is incredible. But behind the scenes, it was about faith. It was about prayer. It was about believing and bringing it to God. Well, let's focus on confidence. Confidence is having confidence in our relationship with God and who God is, to bring that to our identity and purpose. Knowing that we are loved and valued by God helps us be more confident. And it gives a strong foundation. It can cultivate a sense of worth and value. As we have intimacy with God and know God, we expand our confidence, because then it's not just relying on us. It's not just walking through what we can do. It's literally bringing it all encompassing with, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, So 3 things in confidence: building self-esteem. So this is, developing a positive self-image, recognizing your strengths and abilities, and working on self-improvement. Number 2, embracing vulnerability, learning to accept and express emotions, being open to feedback, and seeking help when needed. That's huge. I've learned so much about mentorship in the last few years since coming into a movement, 100X, that it's changed my life. Mentorship and coaching, it matters so much to have support and community and someone saying, yes, you can. I think you can. I think you can. And number 3, taking risks, stepping out of one's comfort zone, trying new things, and being willing to fail and learn from mistakes. Woo! That's not an easy one, guys. But once you step in and do it, you have confidence. When I came on the first day yesterday to Moms of Rising Stars, there was no other people on here but the team. And I felt like, oh man, like what's happening? But as I walked through, and then I did the VIP with my son, I got off there pumped. And some of you may see my Facebook Live. I was pumped because confidence came to me. I can do this. You can do this. You can do what God is putting on your heart to do. This is what excites me, is that it's contagious. As we step in and develop confidence, we inspire others to have confidence. The entertainment industry is known for its intense competition and rejection. And that makes it hard to have confidence. Like you might be the top, talent in your city, in your area. And then you go to LA and you're like, whoa, like I would have parties at our house with the kids and you look around and you have models, like you literally like fit 6-pack, these girls, bikinis and swimsuits running in and out of the house. Like you're like, whoa, this is beauty. This is the top of beauty, of talent. Like you're seeing from a different perspective, all in one place. It's bringing them all into one place. Imagine how this can erode confidence. Imagine how this can take away from your feeling of worth when you start to compare and look around. So you have to have confidence in who you are in God and who you are as a person, your self-worth. Because, I'm there in my 40s and I have all these young people. I could look at myself and say, oh man, I'm nothing. That's not healthy as a mom. So I had to step into confidence, knowing who I was and being that influence that God has given me as a woman and as a mom. Now we have to have confidence in networking and building relationships, because that is the opportunity to learn from others, to connect and to collaborate on projects and gain exposure. So you have to have confidence to reach out, confidence to receive those calls, confidence to write emails, confidence to get on a phone call, confidence to meet up with the person. It takes a lot to step into those places. But if this is who I am, this is what I bring, my boys would say to me, I remember magazines would want them to shout out something. I think, oh, 17 magazine, it's so exciting. And my boys are like, no, mom, they need something from us too. And I didn't understand that at first. I didn't understand that it goes both ways. There's a leverage, and confidence in knowing who you are helps you understand the leverage you bring, that the doors are opening for you as much as the doors opening for them. Right? It's both ways. They need you and you need them. That's something that is a huge thing as a parent and a momager, is realizing the value of what your child carries, what your family carries, and not backing down, not giving in, not selling out, standing strong. God has called me to this. This is not what I do. This is what I do. It's complex and multifaceted challenge in the entertainment industry. It requires a combination of personal growth, effective communication, strong relationships and trust, and strategic planning. We had to turn down huge deals, like 30K plus, because it's an offer of something that we could not stand beside, that our child could not stand beside. It was not aligned with the values and purpose. And that is so key. And I'm going to bring more about this in the program I'm bringing after the challenge. to walk through in the areas that, to be strengthened in these areas, to have confidence in these areas. You also have to handle stress and trauma as a momager, because your child is being compared. Your child is in competitions or on platforms going for auditions, even on social media. They didn't get any likes. There's no comments. There's so many facets to confidence, and I will delve deeper into it in my program after the challenge this week. Next, mindset. Number 1, cultivating a growth mindset, embracing challenges, learning from setbacks, and seeing failures as opportunities for growth. Yay! Yes, failures are an opportunity for growth. Yes, celebrate that. Be not conformed to this world, but be changed by the renewing of your mind. Let this mind be in you, which is also in Christ Jesus. Number 1, cultivating a growth mindset. Number 2, practicing gratitude, focusing on the positive, expressing appreciation for what one has, and finding joy in the present moment. How many times are we mumble? They chose them over me. Oh, look at them. They're rising up. I've done it myself. We as parents speak these things over our children. We've done it ourselves. And we haven't realized the impact and influence that we're passing on to our children. Start today practicing gratitude. I am. Something that could have went totally wrong, even in the recent months, because God worked in me to choose forgiveness, to see with different filters, and to practice gratitude. I was able to thank someone, thank them for something beautiful they've done for me, because I was able to have gratitude, and that comes through God. Number 3, developing a positive attitude, choosing to see the good in people and situations, and avoiding negativity and criticism. And I shared on a live yesterday, I worked with a coach last year, and she said to me, Stacey, why are you making a story for other people? Why are you assuming their story? And I had healing recently in a relationship because I stopped creating the story for them. And I chose to bring my story, my heart to God. Fix this, God. Heal my heart, God. Bring forgiveness, God. In the entertainment industry, it's important to cultivate a growth mindset, because you have to be open to learning, seeing where you may be naive. I mean, the naive Canadian mom, asking things, like not understanding how I would offend, how we were stepping in for opportunities for our child and not realizing we weren't honoring, we weren't embracing the position and role of that person and recognizing what they carried. We just wanted something for our child, our children, and wow, that's so sad, but we do it. We all see with what can I get? What can I do? But we don't think about what can I give to these people who are going to help my family, my child rise up to their platform and impact the world. So in the entertainment industry, it's also important to embrace challenges and persist through obstacles. It helps you stay motivated and focused on your goals, even in the face of setbacks. And another important aspect is to stay flexible and adapt to changing trends and technologies. I mean, it's a lot of details that no one walks you through. And I was on a phone call yesterday with my close friend whose son is getting signed to a team, going to a school in the US from Canada with sports. And she's going through all the same things I went through way back in the early, 2010 around. So we help each other. So you don't have to stress for, she said she spent 60 hours looking for, through this stuff. And I'm thinking, yeah, wouldn't it be nice to save that time for somebody else? Like, hey, I'm here for you. I got that number. I got that connection. Go over here, and other people start bringing you information as you step into your calling. I'm having people now reach out to me and give more connections, more things that I wasn't even aware of. So as you step in and embrace your identity and branding and have confidence, things start to come into place. Next, fears to face. Don't we fear, mamas? So much fear. Number one, trusting in God's plan. By trusting in God's plan and having faith that everything works out for the best, a person can develop confidence in their ability to face and overcome their fears. And are we not testimony of this? Number two, seeking guidance by God. Seeking God's guidance through prayer, reflection, you can gain clarity and perspective on your fears and develop a mindset of courage and resilience. And you need courage and resilience. Number three, remembering God's promises. By remembering God's promises of love, protection, and provision, a person can find strength and comfort in the face of their fears and develop a deep trust in God's faithfulness. One of the biggest fears in the entertainment industry is the fear of failure, which can prevent people from taking risks and pursuing their dreams. I have seen young people year after year after year suffering because they stopped believing. They came full of dreams, full of expectations, but without their family. The family is key. That is what I want to bring to this challenge, to this movement, is family is key. Family, support, foundation. It's important to remember that failure is a natural part of the creative process and can also lead to growth and learning, but we don't want to get stuck. We want to help our children and ourselves go to God and get, revelation of, how do I face these fears? How do I walk through this? And another common fear is fear of rejection or criticism. And people don't have a problem in Hollywood telling you you're not good enough. This part's not for you. If you were just a little bit thinner, if you're a little bit more curvy, or if you had more muscles, if you need to gain like 30 pounds as a man, you need to build some, you look too young, you look too old, you don't have enough hair, you have too much, you know what I mean? Like, you're too short, you're too tall, your personality is too over the top, or you're not enough. You have to know identity. Like, I was just looking at Kevin Hart on a show the other day, and they had him between, I didn't realize he was as short as he is because I see him as so tall. And I looked it up online because I was like, whoa, he has confidence. He was sitting in on a couch with two guys who are like 6'5". It was so funny because he was so confident sitting on this couch because he knows who he is. Didn't bother him. He even made a joke about it because he knew how funny they sat. He goes, why'd you sit me in this couch in between these two, huge giants? But it makes me laugh because when we know who we are and we're confident, people love us. People love us. And I used to have that word rejection right across my forehead, tattooed. I walk in a room and people rejected me. Surprise, surprise. I gave them the welcome. Rejection is here. Rejection has arrived in the room. Come at me. That's what I want to see, identity and confidence for you, that you can rise up and be all that you are in these areas. And as a mom of a talented child, standing up for them, having a voice for them. It is difficult for artists and creatives, as they pour their heart and soul into their work, this fear of rejection and criticism. It's very vulnerable. And learning to handle constructive criticism and using it to improve can be an essential skill. It's huge. It's huge. We looked at a contract for our children and we thought it was good to go. took it to a lawyer. There are at least 16 huge things we missed. If we didn't have the strength to hear feedback from a lawyer without, I'll do this myself, we could have done something really wrong. Because on another hand, that did happen to us with one of our children, where a contract got signed that could have ended their career. It was horrible, and the producer was not going to let it go. And we had to take this child to a prayer lady who prays and walk through identity, break off anything in Jesus' name that the enemy had come after their identity. They had lost driver's license, passport, credit cards, all these things in their name. Identity, getting hit by the enemy. Huge. And God released it. It was a miracle. You to go into that, it took months, but we didn't have to spend any money. And God blessed us through another lawyer who came alongside our lawyer. This guy had top lawyer, and he changed it and freed my child. Literally, I could have lost relationship with this child. What did I do? And the shame of that carried with me for a very long time. What did I do to my child? What could have happened? And there were many times over the years that we were in Hollywood and even back in Canada managing our children that it could have been something different, because we didn't see, we didn't have confidence, we were afraid of rejection. We had to face the fears. Like, it's a development. It's a development of confidence with God. And then there's discernment. I got to speed up. Discernment is huge. Hearing from God. Number one, setting priorities. Identifying what is truly important in your life and you value. Focusing your energy and attention on that. 2, making sound decisions, weighing your options, seeking advice when needed, and making decisions based on values and goals. And 3, avoiding toxic influences, surrounding oneself with positive people and avoiding individuals or situations that bring negativity or conflict. Discernment in the entertainment industry means being able to distinguish between genuine opportunities and those that may not be in your best interest. It's important to carefully evaluate each opportunity and to consider whether it aligns with your goals and values. And another aspect of discernment in the entertainment industry is the ability to identify potential risks or red flags, such as contracts that may be exploitive or situations that may compromise your integrity. Learning to navigate these situations with wisdom and caution is essential in the industry. I had to stand up and speak up many times, and people would not understand why I didn't like this person or why I was saying this about this person. Like, you just don't like everybody. It was like my husband would see it, my children was like, Mom, you don't like people. But I could see the red flags sometimes a year or two ahead, and it shocked me. When it came out, it still shocked me. And one of my children came to me a few years ago and said, Mom, you were 100% right about every one of them. That was God. And God protecting my children. And even when we didn't make that decision in discernment properly, God has used those situations to build strength and to impact and to make my children stronger, and to make myself and my husband stronger as people, and to see more clearly. So nothing is a waste. And number 7 under confidence is trust. Trusting in God's plan. So number 1, trust in God. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths or make your path straight. 2, trusting yourself. Your own judgment, intuition, decisions can help you feel more confident and empowered in your choices. It's important to believe in yourself and have the ability to make the best decisions for yourself and your family, as you also apply listening to Holy Spirit prompts and trust what you hear. And number 3, trusting others. Building and maintaining trust with others is also important for moms. Like my son was saying on my testimony video on the funnel, My mom built all these relationships, and to this day, my children still hang out with some of those people, even if they don't work with them. This includes trusting your partner, family members, friends, and even childcare providers to help support you in your parenting journey. Build trust with others can help alleviate your stress and create a strong support system. And when it comes to industry, it's now trusting managers, agents, publicists, teachers, relationships, and more. There was a manager that came into our life all excited, and I would say she was a shark, but I didn't realize what I was saying. Well, that got exposed, and taking from our children, taking money that should have been theirs, opportunities, that is what forced us to step in and become managers to our children. So actually, she was key to push us, to push it out of us, to make us face what was needed. We had people stealing deals. We had people going in the back door, writing our kids privately, paying other people to meet our kids. Just crazy things that we found out years later. And sometimes I was in trauma, just what is happening? What is happening? What is happening? And I had to come back to identity in God. I had to come back to confidence. So, Mom, wherever you're at today, I just want to bless you with confidence in who God says you are, in seeing yourself, having a new mindset and belief, and in believing in others, that so many do love us and are good, and being discerning in that. And for homework today, I want you to write, and Charisma is my guest today in a little bit when we start the VIP, but Charisma gave me this idea, my daughter, to write a celebration letter to yourself. Celebrate where you have been confident, where you've overcome, where you've come through, where you've had courage. Celebrate you. I love you, and I am so thankful that you could join us today and be a part of this journey of building Moms of Rising Stars, building a community of moms together. And I'm looking forward to, as we grow, expand, and we face those hard things, and we can do it together. God bless.